do it earlier. And of course that creates a dilemma, it also establishes an opportunity for additional information to be added to the history of Koha, concerning what actually happened. I think there's certainly a level where those sorts of incidents will happen. I also think as the time passes, the market will segment itself. Certain vendors will have different core development competencies, but I don't think there can be a case where we can completely control that situation, because at least under American law, if we can't compete, we could run into potential antitrust considerations. Now, admittedly, library automation isn't that large that the Department of Justice would be eager to go after it, but I think it basically boils down to if we go down the approach of doing more communication among the users about what things they're interested in sponsoring, which things they have formally committed to sponsor, and any complications we'll just have to deal with as they arise. I mean, we shouldn't invite any more trouble than we have to. I would also further support the idea of using an existing bug system to keep track of this thing. Now there may be room for improving it, improving the interface to it. But I think having a central bugs database would be the best place to aggregate this information.
I just addressed the Bugzilla. I just looked at Bugzilla and I've looked at it before, and it's really nice to have a list of bugs. I mean, it's something we always want to have. But I guess I have a problem with mixing new or proposed development in a bug database.
It's already being done.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's already there.
Yeah. I don't know. Does it bother anybody else, or is it just something to get over? Because I
it might be something to just rename the database. Call it
tickets or something.
The ticket database or the improvements database.
Opportunity.
I like the idea of using the Bugzilla database, and my biggest concern is what you were just saying about communication. I've lost track already of the number of times I've run into a particular problem. I go search the bug site, I don't find anything on it, and I put something on the list of the IRC, and somebody pops up and says, oh yeah, we know about that, and somebody's working on it. But it's not in the Bugzilla.
Or you can't find it.
There's no one central point for people to go look to see what's a known problem, is somebody working on something. So if we take this approach, I think it's also part of the solution is going to be educating and encouraging the whole user community to use the site.
Yeah.
Even if you don't have an answer to a problem, post the problem.
There's a lot of problems that are really understood.
Yeah.
But if you're new, you don't know about those.
Yeah, and that's what I have been running into.
Just for your information, I just checked. There are 234 enhancements in Bugzilla open at this time. So probably we could clean some of them because some of them are quite old and are sold, and nobody took time to close them. But there are already a lot. And I don't remember if I was the one who said on the chat someone is working on your problem, but it might be. But I must apologize once again because Frenchies speak French, and for some years we tried to convince our customers to write bugs on Bugzilla, and I think if you search, there are maybe 3 tickets or 4 tickets. So more than 1 year ago, we opened a specific French ticket system, and we have a lot of tickets here, and we try to copy some from Bugzilla, from Mantis to Bugzilla, from French to English, but we don't do that for every ticket. Because sometimes it's longer to copy the ticket than to fix the problem and send the patch.
I want to get everybody in the order in which they're reading.
I just wanted to, again, say Bugzilla is very nice and useful, and one of the features that I like the best is that you can add your email as a CC. So if there's any action on a bug or on an enhancement, you'll be notified. It'll show up in your inbox.
I think it's important to have as few places to keep track of as possible. And I'd second or fifth using Bugzilla just for that reason, if nothing else. I also think that one thing that would probably help a lot is if we had something that was easy to find on one of the websites that was a clear recommendation is here's how you should submit a bug, here's how you should submit a request. If you're going to do a request, you should enhance request. You should submit it, and you should submit it at whatever.kohacon.org as an enhanced request, and then you should post something to the mailing list so that people aren't checking the request every day. At least know that something's out there. Recommendation is post an enhanced request and post something in the mailing list saying I just opened this enhanced request to do this short one-line thing with, and here's the ticket number or whatever. Something so that people that are watching it at least have an idea, a chance to know about it, and then if somebody goes on searches, they know where to go, they know where to do enhancements.
And that instruction needs to be more than just put it on Bugzilla.
Yeah.
People hear Bugzilla and they go, oh, that's for bugs, and they walk away.
Yes.
So put it here. We're using Bugzilla to run the software. It's the database, but put it here.
I think you even don't need to write a mail on the mailing list because Bugzilla is a useful tool and you can have RSS feeds on any query. So, for example, you could RSS feed the query I just created to get RSS feed of all new enhancements requested. And there is also another feature where we can set up new values and new lists in the various possibilities. For example, you will see you have Koha versions, so you can declare a bug for Koha 1, Koha 1.2, Koha 1.22, etc., Koha 2.0, 2.20, 2.21, and you can do a lot of other things. So maybe we could tweak Bugzilla a little to have some easy to fill request and an RSS feed and install.
Will somebody submit a Bugzilla request for that?
Yeah, you're perfectly right, because there is a component called Bugzilla in Bugzilla.
Okay, I don't know who administers Bugzilla. Because if we decide that's what we want to do from the sound of it, that's what we're hearing, then, Kudos needs to develop a group to evaluate what we want, what we need out of Bugzilla, and then that group has to have the recommendations of what we need it to do and pass it to...
All right. Ultimately, it would end up in, my lab.